Story 1. Years go by a lot faster and not in a good way if you stop challenging yourself with new experiences. The more you intentionally put yourself in positive, uncomfortable situations, the more time will feel like it did in high school instead of flying by. Story 2. Marry based on a thoughtful connection, not on hormones. Having more children is not marriage therapy. Story 3. Everyone can become disabled at some point, even temporarily, such as when recovering from surgery, a broken limb, or a car accident. Enjoy your favorite activities now because you may not be able to do them later. Your health and mobility are gifts. Story 4. A diet consisting mostly of junk food and too much sugar, but I do not gain weight, may be the least of your problems. Story 5. Protect your hearing. Wear earplugs at live music events and don't turn your headphones all the way up. Tinnitus is a bitch. It really sucks and there is no cure. Story 6. The reality of death. Dealing with aging and dying parents and even friends' health issues. In your 20s, it's all about money and achievement. In your 40s, you realize that health and longevity are more important. Story 7. Your body will remember what you did. I am a doctor. Comes up a lot. Story 8. Avoid harmful behaviors such as drug use, excessive drinking, smoking, overeating, and unmanaged stress. Your mental health is as important as your physical health. Do not ignore it. Be mindful of your surroundings. It is better to be alone than to be with the wrong people. Story 9. If you do not stay active, you will gain weight. It's not a metabolism issue in your 40s. It's a lack of activity or sedentary behavior. Age discrimination starts to rear its head in your mid to late 40s. In your early 40s, you still think you're in your 30s. In your late 40s, reality hits that you're a middle-aged person. Age discrimination also rears its head again. Young people are definitely discriminated against. The difference with old age is that society wants you to disappear. You are seen as a drain, a liability, or a nuisance, whereas with youth they want to exploit you. Story 10. The sun. Wear your sunscreen, hat, and sunglasses. Also, do not overuse active ingredients. Story 11. You bend over and make a sound you did not mean to. I thought only grandfathers did that, but it sneaks up earlier than you think. Story 12. On Friday, I caught my foot on a chair rung as I stood up and tripped, falling onto all fours. It was not a violent or severe fall, but my left leg has seized up and I am hobbling around. I am 42. Story 13. I am 45. Many people who were important in my life have died. All my grandparents and many aunts and uncles are gone. My parents are getting older and slower, and that is a little scary. It is not all bad. I am happy to be alive at this age, but you should expect that many people you know will have died. Story 14. Addiction to or abuse of drugs and alcohol continuing from your 20s leads to a kind of arrested development. You keep acting like you are in your 20s when you are middle-aged, and it becomes sad to watch from the outside. I constantly see posts on Facebook from men in their late 40s along the lines of, "Woo, who's up for a big night out? It's Thursday night, who's up for town? Let's hit the clubs." Then their feeds are silent. Do you not remember seeing men in their 50s hitting on 18-year-old students in clubs and laughing at them when you were 18? The next week they complain that their boss is a jerk about sick days. Dude, you have 3 kids and you're going through your second divorce. Story 15. Take care of your mental health. Believing you can work more than 50 hours a week without burning out will hurt you in the long run. Maintain mental resilience by recognizing when you are stressed and need a break. Also, take care of your knees. Story 16. Perimenopause is an unpredictable beast. Judy Bloom and all those 5th grade teachers who brought the girls into the gym sure left us hanging. Story 17. The shoes you wear every day matter in the long term. Pick the wrong ones and you are signing up for a wide range of potential problems. Story 18. It's okay to be single. You do not need to be in a relationship. Surround yourself with good friends and a support network. Being with the wrong person can have a devastating effect on your life. Story 19. It always feels like I have not really grown up or become a real adult yet. Story 20. Being sedentary is as bad as smoking, drug use, alcohol, and poor nutrition. It only adds up more slowly, but it will backfire. Stay active and lean. You will find you are physically better than most people. Story 21. Enjoy your health while you have it. I was incredibly healthy. I exercised every day, ate right, ran marathons, worked hard, and completed 27 years of schooling, including college, medical school, and residency. I landed my dream job, and then suddenly I was disabled by a chronic neurological illness. I wish I had enjoyed my healthy years instead of working so hard toward a future I would never have. Everyone thinks it will not happen to them. I became permanently disabled at 36 years old. Story 22. What feels like boredom in your 20s, with quiet mornings, stable routines, and saying no, becomes the actual substance of peace and happiness in your 40s. It is almost shocking to realize how soothing the things you once avoided can be. On an ordinary Saturday, getting a little tipsy while pouring myself another double at home is the real cat's meow. Story 23. As shocking as this is, your ability to save money is highest in your 20s. As you get older, commitments, events, and bills increase, and even though you may earn more, money seems to flow out in all directions. I saved more at 20 than I can at 40, and that was while working a part-time job. Story 24. Invest in your mental health. Correct earlier trauma with a professional as soon as possible. I cannot emphasize enough that the financial cost is high, but you will need every psychological resource you have to lead a good life. You will have to balance your partner, career, family, and all the things life throws your way, including health problems for you or loved ones and sometimes the unexpected loss of people around you. I am not trying to paint a dark picture. Life will be amazing at times and difficult at others. When we are young, we tend to underestimate the challenges. It is rewarding. You can find a lot of meaning and many moments of happiness. It is worth the challenge. Prepare yourself. In your 30s, you begin to see people your age take paths shaped by some of their mistakes. In your 40s, this becomes more obvious, and there is less room to correct course. Story 25. Biting your nails wears down tooth enamel that you can never get back. Story 26. Don't be lax about reapplying sunscreen. Your skin may look fine now, but when you turn 40, sun damage can appear on your face. Story 27. 1. Investing. Very few 20-year-olds invest. It is the easiest money you will ever make. Buy an S&P 500 index fund, enable automatic dividend reinvestment, and you will thank yourself when you are 40. 2. Time. It may seem like you have it, but you do not, and it passes faster as you get older. It is a ratio thing. Spending $1 feels like a lot when you only have $5. You do not notice spending $1 when you have $200. Time works the same way. A year at 20 feels like a month at 40 and like a day at 70. Behave and plan accordingly. You get old quickly. Story 28. I would never have believed how sensitive and emotional I would be at over 40. It's totally normal to mature in this way, but I would have scoffed at the thought. Story 29. Boys, moisturize your face and don't forget your décolletage. Nobody wants football leather moobs. Ladies, ditch the heels. The 52 bones in your feet will thank you. Everyone, correct your posture early or you risk a sudden head turn to the right caused by an instinctive look over there that can put you out for a week. Story 30. The reckless way we treat our bodies as young people shows up as we age. What felt like a mild back injury at 18 became life-altering at 40 and now controls my life entirely at 52. My husband was very athletic in his teens and 20s and sustained many sprains, strains, and small fractures. He feels them all now at 51. He is still attractive, though. Story 31. Poor posture will lead to significant pain and an increased need for pain management as you get older. Story 32. Far too many of you have the attitude that you will just go on pre-exposure prophylaxis. That attitude drives Generation X and older millennials, who lived under the specter of human immunodeficiency virus as a death sentence, absolutely nuts. Story 33. Look after your body and get regular, high-quality, intensive exercise. You will likely be in your 40s feeling physically much the same as you did in your 20s, while many others experience aches. Story 34. I am surprised nobody is mentioning our dependency on digital technology and social media. Once you reach your 40s, what matters are integrity, authenticity, problem-solving skills, resourcefulness, and direct life experience. As you get older, life becomes more complex. After 40, experiences of despair increase and the highs become fewer and farther apart. You were not born with a smartphone in your hand. Stop consuming, following, and watching. Stop doom scrolling and recording all your experiences for attention and internet clout. Put down your phone and go out and experience life directly. Make connections, show up, and pay attention to your friends. When you are in your 40s, what you did or did not do in your 20s becomes important. The route to the wisdom you have in your 40s and 50s begins in your 20s. Story 35. Bad financial decisions can haunt you throughout your adult life. If you do not manage your finances, making only minimum payments on credit card debt will not make the debt go away. Taking out another student loan to continue school because you feel lost will not magically produce a lucrative job. Spending all of your money to live a little now will steal years from you later. Story 36. When you realize that all the experience you have makes it harder to get a job, you find that many employers prefer cheap, inexperienced workers they can take advantage of. Story 37. If you drink with abandon in your 20s, you are digging a pit from which you may never climb out. Story 38. Do not drop out of school. Even if you pursue a trade, education is an investment in you. Story 39. It hits you very suddenly. It feels like it happens within a month or two. One day, the aches and pains are no longer a sign of overdoing things. They are simply how you are now. You may be the same weight, but the fat has shifted and your face looks older. Story 40. Having toxic people in your life is destructive to your mental health. You can remove them. There are countless other people who can be your friends in more constructive and respectful ways. Do not be afraid to change your social life. Story 41. Protect your relationships by choosing your words carefully. It will not be easy to maintain them later if you do not. Story 42. I'm in my 50s, but whatever. Brush and floss your teeth daily. Story 43. Smoking tobacco. Do not do it. It is terrible for your oral hygiene. Lifting weights may reduce signs of aging, or the effect may be genetic. Story 44. This is very negative. Hang out with friends so you keep them. Travel to build memories. Meet women and men to explore sexual or romantic relationships and to work out what you want. Story 45. Logic. Save money and spend only when necessary. Have the confidence to say no to others when required. Purchase a parcel of land, however small, and invest in gold and silver. Avoid lending money to friends. Maintain physical fitness. Learn to dance. Learn to play a musical instrument. Story 46. Carrying a lot of extra weight drains you. It leads to lower energy, poorer sleep, and more aches and pains. I lost a lot of weight a while ago, and it's amazing how much better I feel. I thought the benefits had been exaggerated until I experienced them myself. I feel more rested with less sleep, and chronic back and ankle pain from heavy manual labor and sports injuries in my youth has mostly abated. Story 47. Stop drinking alcohol. It ruins every part of your body and mind. Get a life and learn to have fun and be interesting without it as soon as possible. Story 48. If you do not address past trauma, it will build up and eventually explode when you enter a healthy relationship. Story 49. Being fit is not just about weight, dress size, and attractiveness. If you want to be able to move without pain in your 40s, get into the habit of doing 10,000 steps every day. Be an active person. I am trying to start this now at almost 50, and it is nearly impossible physically and mentally. Story 50. Floss daily. Always wear sunscreen. Story 51. Not prioritizing good shoes and a good mattress has consequences. Story 52. On the positive side, learn life skills and hobbies in your 20s that will carry you into your 30s, 40s, and beyond. Some suggestions. Cooking. Buy a classic cookbook and learn basic cooking skills. Keep a well-stocked kitchen. I started with Craig Claiborne and learned a lot. Cooking for yourself will save you a lot of money in the long run. Money management. Many people have already suggested this. Learn how to manage your income, avoid debt and credit problems, and save for retirement. Retirement may seem far off, but it will happen if you live long enough. Consider using You Need a Budget as a money management tool and Fidelity for early savings. Always max your 401k retirement plan and a health savings account if and when you have a job that offers those benefits. Physical activity. Pursue a physical hobby you can enjoy and develop for a lifetime, such as hiking, yoga, or swimming. Go easy on it. You do not want to burn out or injure yourself by going too hard. Your body has to last a lifetime. Sometimes less is more. Strengthen it rather than wearing it out like a car. I could go on, but you get the idea. Live in the present and think long-term. Story 53. You're still basically childish. You just don't act like it. Story 54. Every minor injury you had when you were young comes back and stays with you. Story 55. Put sunscreen on the backs of your hands every day, whether it is sunny or cloudy. Do not be like me in my 40s. My body looks fantastic, but the backs of my hands have the mottled skin of a Shar-Pei, and no cosmetic surgery can fix it. Story 56. You may not be into politics, but politics is on to you. This is your government too, and the people who make laws are laying the groundwork for your future. If more people in my generation had been involved in politics, it might be a lot easier to buy a home and start a family now. Story 57. Ladies and gentlemen of the class of 1999, wear sunscreen. If I could offer you only one tip for the future, sunscreen would be it. The long-term benefits of sunscreen have been proved by scientists. The rest of my advice has no basis more reliable than my own meandering experience, but I will dispense it now. Enjoy the power and beauty of your youth. Oh, never mind. You will not understand the power and beauty of your youth until they have faded, but trust me. In 20 years you will look back at photos of yourself and recall, in a way you cannot grasp now, how much possibility lay before you and how fabulous you really looked. You are not as fat as you imagine. Do not worry about the future. Or worry, but know that worrying is as effective as trying to solve an algebra equation by chewing bubble gum. The real troubles in your life are apt to be things that never crossed your worried mind. The kind that blindsides you at 4 p.m. on some idle Tuesday. Do one thing every day that scares you. Do not be reckless with other people's hearts. Do not put up with people who are reckless with yours. Floss. Do not waste your time on jealousy. Sometimes you are ahead, sometimes you are behind. The race is long and in the end, it is only with yourself. Remember the compliments you receive and forget the insults. If you succeed in doing this, tell me how. Keep your old love letters and throw away your old bank statements. Stretch. Do not feel guilty if you do not know what you want to do with your life. The most interesting people I know did not know at 22 what they wanted to do with their lives. Some of the most interesting 40-year-olds I know still do not. Get plenty of calcium. Be kind to your knees. You will miss them when they are gone. Maybe you will marry, maybe you will not. Maybe you will have children, maybe you will not. Maybe you will divorce at 40. Maybe you will dance the funky chicken on your 75th wedding anniversary. Whatever you do, do not congratulate yourself too much or berate yourself either. Your choices are half chance and so are everybody else's. Enjoy your body, use it every way you can. Do not be afraid of it or of what other people think of it. It is the greatest instrument you will ever own. Dance even if you have nowhere to do it but your own living room. Read the directions even if you do not follow them. Do not read beauty magazines. They will only make you feel ugly. Get to know your parents. You never know when they will be gone for good. Be nice to your siblings. They are your best link to your past and the people most likely to stick with you in the future. Understand that friends come. Story 58. From my teens until my late 40s, I used to say that I had a cast iron stomach. I used to eat and drink whatever I liked and be fine the next day. It turns out my stomach could only take 30 years of abuse. I now have irritable bowel syndrome. I have to avoid junk food and mostly drink alcohol-free beer. Story 59. You must manage your weight and exercise. This is not negotiable. Gaining a few pounds occasionally is not a moral failing, but it still needs to be addressed. Fat positivity is a crab bucket mentality you do not want to fall into. If you are 20 years old in the United States, your average fitness age is around 44. This assumes an average height of 5 feet 4 inches, an average weight of 171 pounds, an average daily step count of 4,000 to 5,000 or fewer, and an average waist circumference of 36.6 inches. If these values apply to you, your fitness age is technically already in your 40s. If you manage your calorie intake, walk more, and lift weights a couple of times a week, you could be 40 and have a fitness age of 25, but you will not get there doing what you are doing now. Story 60. Your eyes. Do not take them for granted. Once you reach 40, your vision can decline rapidly. Story 61. You are buying a lot of things that you do not actually need or care about. At some point, you will wish you had been better with your money, especially when you have to think about retirement. Story 62. If you ever want long hair, do it now before you go bald. Then when 20-somethings tease you about being bald, you can say that you used to have hair down your back and that it will happen to them too. If you are in your 40s, still have your hairline, and have ever wanted long hair, do it now. I grew mine out during the coronavirus disease 2019 pandemic, and I am glad I did. All my friends are going bald now and comment on how luscious my locks are. Story 63. If you like your parents, cherish them now. Many people do not like theirs. They will be gone before you know it. If you have children, cherish them when they are small and need you, because in a blink of an eye they become teenagers and everyone knows how that goes. Story 64. Everything you think of as your lifestyle is a delicate apparatus of stress relievers you've cultivated out of necessity to keep yourself sane in your environment. This apparatus relies on the near limitless capacity you have because you have no responsibilities. Having children will drive a freight train through this delicate ecosystem, and you'll be left with pieces and debris of what constituted your identity. You'll try to staple these back into some semblance of a personality without any of the benefits of youth to fuel you. The lack of sleep, physical fitness, and mental well-being will simultaneously age you beyond any conceivable frame of reference, while you become more competent than you'd ever imagine possible while running on empty. You will exist in a permanent state of conflict, caught between two what-ifs, and yearning desperately for sleep. That exhaustion will age you faster than smoking. Story 65. Perimenopause is difficult and can have a deleterious effect on every system in your body. It is not just hot flashes, mood swings, and the end of menstrual periods. Anyone with 2X chromosomes, or in a long-term relationship with someone who has 2X chromosomes, should follow the Reddit communities for menopause and perimenopause. Story 66. Perimenopause can be very difficult. It is not just hot flashes. Estrogen affects every part of the body, including the brain, heart, bladder, and more, and symptoms can begin as early as the mid to late 30s. Do not let your symptoms be ignored. Educate yourself about vaginal estrogen and hormone replacement therapy. Many autoimmune diseases also appear at this time. Story 67. Health and well-being are your number one priority, both mental and physical. School should include not only gym class but also psychology classes to teach mental regulation. There is so much we can miss by not knowing it exists or not having the tools to deal with it. Invest in key areas for a robust later life: relationships and social bonds, career skills, health, and financial investments. All are important and none should be neglected. Life will knock you down, but strong support in those areas makes recovery easier. Always get back up. It becomes harder each time, and we all need the help we can get. Pay it forward. Be kind to others and to yourself. Much pain can be avoided by extending a hand. Story 68. Recovery time. Something that did not affect you before can leave you tired and in pain for a day. Hangovers can become multi-day events. Activities you used to be able to do all day may leave you worn out by 1 or 2 in the afternoon, or even by lunchtime. Story 69. Stop drinking now. It is literally poison that causes cancer. Story 70. After your physical health fades, your mind quickly follows. Story 71. Care about your future self, because you will become that person faster than you think. Save money, take care of your body, and follow your dreams. Seriously, do it. Story 72. You are not stretching enough. Remedy this by stretching more. Story 73. Unless someone is your spouse, parent, or child, no one thinks about you every day. You are an insignificant blip in their day. So stop living your life to please and impress them. Story 74. I'm 45. Your family members and loved ones won't be around forever. Be more willing to give them grace. Random people won't be around forever. Be less willing to give them grace. People are often too willing to be harsh with family and too soft with strangers, letting those who don't care about them affect their mood. For example, getting angry over a random comment. Story 75. The power of compound interest and long-term investing is that even small financial moves made when you are young can significantly affect your future. Most young people don't think about the future enough to learn about finances until later, and when that happens, there is nothing you can do to recover the lost time. Story 76. All the drinking, fried food, and sugar consumption will catch up with you, and your doctor will have diagnoses you never thought you would hear. Story 77. Wait, I'm a 42-year-old who reversed the trend of slow-growing fatness in my 20s and am still in great shape in my 40s. I can deep squat comfortably, stand straight up from sitting on the floor without using my hands, and touch my feet with straight legs. I'm nearly as fast as I ever was, stronger than ever, and I like how I look without a shirt. Truth, your metabolism does not actually slow down that much as you age. It is just that the 5 pounds you gain between age 20 and 25 do not go away on their own because you live differently, eat worse, and move less. Let's walk through this. At 25, you are up 5 pounds. You finish college or training, start building a career, and stop doing sports as often. You get tired of shopping for inexpensive, ingredient-based food you cook at home and start buying pre-made meals. By 30, you add 10 more pounds. 30, you are up 15 pounds. It is not a big deal, but you do not feel as good and you buy bigger pants. You can still play an occasional game of basketball or go for a run, but it feels bad, so you do it less. You start a family, have late nights with kids, exercise less, eat worse, drink too much wine and beer, and slowly gain 2 to 4 pounds each year, about 3 pounds per year on average until you are 40. By 40, you may be 45 or 50 pounds over a healthy weight, make noises when bending over, and cannot remember the last time the thought of fitness or sports sounded fun. Stuff starts hurting because it is rigid and inflexible, not because it is worn out. It does not have to be this way. It did not happen because your metabolism slowed down. It happened because of bad choices made every day, all 7,200 days between age 20 and 40, when you reached for fast food and sat with your phone or the TV instead of walking, jogging, working out, and preparing inexpensive meals with proper portions. Story 78. Debt from expensive cars, credit cards, weddings, and luxury items can set you back financially. Story 79. Running with a rough crowd. It is way harder to change social groups now that I have grown up and my drinking buddies have not. Story 80. Sports injuries. My knees never really recovered from those injuries at age 17. I also wonder about the effects of all the head collisions from playing football and lacrosse. Story 81. Don't waste your 20s being a workaholic. Enjoy them. The number of people saving every penny in their 20s for their retirement is misguided. Don't waste your peak health and vitality. Live every minute. Live boldly. Have a blast. Spend your money on experiences. When you are older, swamped with caring for your children, your home, or your career, or facing failing health and exhaustion, the memories you made will sustain you. Story 82. Alcohol use is a habit that develops gradually. It is best not to start. An occasional glass of wine or beer when you go out is acceptable, but do not keep alcohol at home or make a habit of having a drink when you get home. Story 83. As you enter your 40s, your parents are typically in their 70s or 80s. No one prepares you for their aging, and it is truly awful. Story 84. The aging and subsequent decline of my parents made me realize I would have planned my life differently, focusing more on them. Story 85. I said this in another AskReddit post. Take good care of your teeth. Story 86. I am 24, and I realize that smoking or drinking daily is not safe. Occasionally it is fine, but on a regular basis it can affect your health significantly. Story 87. Take care of the things you need most, your body and your mental health. Do this for your entire life. Story 88. Stress ages people, so be mindful of what you stress over. Many things people worry about are not that important. Story 89. Skipping dentist appointments ends up costing more in pain and money. Story 90. I've realized the importance of sleep. Even when I can't sleep, I lie still and close my eyes. It makes a difference. Story 91. Watch your teeth and feet, especially your feet. Those two ugly things have to carry you your whole life. Story 92. Floss every day. Takes 1 minute and helps protect your gums. Story 93. I turned 40 in 1 hour. I don't think I'm experienced enough yet to give advice at that age. But soon. Story 94. From someone in their 50s. 1. Stay active and maintain reasonable fitness. You do not have to be a gym rat. 2. Maintain a healthy weight. Small gains over the years add up. Monitor your weight regularly. 3. Monitor your credit score. As you get older and need to acquire things, a good credit score makes a big difference for mortgages, apartments, and car insurance. You do not need a perfect score, but keep it in a good range. 4. Limit alcohol intake. You do not have to abstain entirely, but keep consumption in check. 5. Apply sunscreen at the pool and at the beach. You do not have to wear a floppy hat or have white sunscreen on your face, but protect your skin. A friend on the Gulf Coast of Florida has been outdoors a lot since 1989 and looks 10 years older than I am because of sun exposure. 6. Be smart with money. Even if it is hard to save in your 20s, maximize contributions to your 401k retirement plan, especially if your employer matches contributions. Learn good spending habits now because they will pay off later. Story 95. Not spending enough time with older family members. They might be gone by the time you reach your 40s. Story 96. For the love of your skin, do not excessively tan in your 20s or go out for long periods without sunscreen. All of that damage will appear in middle age. Story 97. Some things about your body you can't change. I miss the days when my breasts didn't rest against my own skin so much. It was a sensory nightmare. I guess you can get implants, but no matter how well you take care of your body, it will still change. Story 98. Burying your parents can be devastating, especially if you have been their primary caregiver for years. Story 99. Brush your teeth. Floss as well. Story 100. Workplace ageism. Feeling absolutely terrible if you do not work out at least twice a week. All the good habits you build in every area in your 20s and 30s will help you in your 40s, and vice versa. Build those habits even a little every day, please. In terms of health, primarily take care of your teeth, eyesight, back, and posture. Losing your sex appeal. When you are young and attractive, many people find you desirable. It is almost baffling to see that fade slowly. If you want, have more sexual experiences now, because you may not have as many options later. Losing your appetite. This one was a surprise. I could really eat well into my 30s. I could hit a buffet and have something from every dish, tuck into a 5-course meal and still have room for more, and I am a tiny person. Now I can barely manage a few mouthfuls and I am done. A heavy meal leaves me panting and takes hours to feel normal again. Save more money. You will not remember many of the things you spent money on a few years later because they become boring, forgotten, or discarded. Buy what you need, truly only the essentials, and allow the occasional splurge. Do spend on healthy food, a gym membership, classes, and learning new things. Give a bit to charity. Your ability to enjoy things and the intensity with which they excite you may diminish. Travel more. Try different foods. Seek unique experiences. And make more friends while you are younger. The way time flies. A year in my 40s feels like a few months did in my 20s. Time goes frighteningly fast, particularly after your early 30s. Try to slow down time by engaging in varied and novel activities and experiences. You may lose confidence about your place and relevance in the world. This can start sometime in your 30s, depending on the individual and baseline confidence. But you may feel increasingly insecure as younger people enter the workforce and your own looks and perceived relevance fade. For many people, there is a general loss of zest for life or thoughts about not wanting to continue. You may experience suicidal thoughts in your 40s. Even if you never intend to act on them, you may sometimes feel that it would be easier if everything ended. Intense groin perspiration. Story 101. Start saving for retirement as soon as you begin working. The earlier you start, the better off you will be. Your savings grow significantly faster over time, so if they are not there, you are missing out. Story 102. I am 40 this year. I have gained about 15 pounds over the last few years, which I am working to lose. It is not so much metabolism as it is life, including work, marriage, finances, young children, and an aging family. They all take time away from taking care of yourself. In your 20s, if you are single, most of your time is centered on yourself. I cherish my free time now because it is so rare. Story 103. The advantages of developing emotional intelligence and how it can affect your ability to start and maintain relationships across the spectrum. The importance of becoming and staying financially literate. Understand how to budget and, more importantly, adjust your budget as your income grows, plateaus, or falls. Adopting and maintaining an active lifestyle. As I got older and worked more, I became less active. Now, as a 45-year-old man, I am trying to get back in shape by working hard in the gym. My goal is to be present to raise my son and to have the energy that he and my wife need. Story 104. Your 40s do not have to be full of pain. There is an assumption that after a certain age things go downhill. Although it becomes harder to recover and build muscle as you age, it is not impossible, and good habits in exercise and nutrition are important. I was in my best shape in my late 30s, and I am currently working to reclaim that with diet and exercise. People often joke about turning 40 as if their bodies are crumbling. I do not see it that way. In many ways, I take better care of myself now than I did in my early 20s. Story 105. They waste too much time and energy trying to belong to a group instead of connecting with themselves and learning to see the world with their own eyes. Story 106. Take care of your knees. Years of running in the military left me with 2 knee replacements. Story 107. Going to the gym and toning your body in your late teens and early 20s will set the groundwork for the rest of your life. I worked out hard during those prime years, and I still see the benefits even though I have not been inside a gym in over a decade. I remain active without regular workouts, and my basic form persists, although it is less defined. Story 108. Eyesight declines with age. Words will become blurrier, so swallow your pride and buy reading glasses. Story 109. You're in the prime of your working career, and it only gets harder. You assume that if you make good money, you'll make the same amount forever. Prepare while you can. It's a shit show out here. Story 110. Control your blood pressure or it will harm you in many ways. Story 111. Stand up and stretch every hour. Target your neck, shoulders, back, hips, and other areas. Mobility is difficult to regain once you start to become middle-aged and stiff. Story 112. I didn't really age from 20 to 40, except that I had to eat more saturated fat to have a baby. Story 113. Hypermobility. Being a bit bendier than average is fun when you are young. When you are over 40, especially if you have had children, your body can start falling apart because your joints cannot support you. Story 114. Brush your teeth regularly and floss. I spent a lot of money in my 30s fixing my teeth because I did not take care of them properly in my 20s. Story 115. Start a daily stretching routine. You may not notice it at first, but your flexibility diminishes significantly, and you do not realize how valuable it is until it is gone. Strength training, especially for the legs and core, helps immensely as you get older. Even if it is just bodyweight exercises, stay active. Story 116. Stress, drugs, and alcohol. The latter two can cause physical harm by age 40, while stress often manifests mentally, causing anxiety and other mental disorders. Story 117. Vaping and not wearing enough sunscreen are the things that prematurely age you and make you look 50 when you are 40. There is no fixing that later. You screwed yourself when you were young. Story 118. Your stomach naturally becomes more sensitive as you age. Be careful how you treat it when you are younger, because you may pay for it later. Story 119. Perception of time accelerates as every second, minute, and hour become an ever smaller percentage of our lives. Enjoy your youth. It will be gone before you know it. As you age, time seems to speed up. Story 120. Not moving is one of the biggest risks to health. Once you stop, it is very hard to start again. Yes, unforeseen and unavoidable things can happen, such as disease, accidents, and injuries. But if you are otherwise healthy, the easiest way to become unhealthy as you age is to stop moving. I have met many people who literally cannot walk a mile. I am in gym classes with people half my age who cannot do what I do. I started late and I am glad I did. You do not have to do extreme workouts or perform stunts. You just have to move. Also, eating fast food is harmful. Learn to cook a few really basic dishes. Story 121. Lifting with your back will not hurt you much now. Maybe not even at all. In 20 years, it will haunt you. Story 122. I'm not saving money. Sorry, I'm hard of hearing. Save more money, kids. Story 123. If you work in a trade, wear knee pads. Sure, gay jokes are gonna fly, but having knees at 40 is well worth it. As others have said, use earplugs for everything, including concerts, mowing the lawn, and using saws. Also, save for retirement. Put as much as you can, to the point you are borderline uncomfortable with it, into your 401k retirement plan. If you do not have a 401k retirement plan, open a Roth individual retirement account. Story 124. Stay in shape. Build a routine. Even if it is just stretching and walking or jogging, do not sit all day. I am 41 and feel like I am 80. Story 125. I am doing okay mentally, but my body is wrecked. Alcohol and cocaine have taken a real toll. My knees and joints are destroyed from a hard lifestyle. Feels like living in Jackass without the fame. Story 126. Don't waste time on bad relationships. There is no such thing as a sunk cost. As you get older, the gap between your music taste and your parents will lessen. You will find yourself listening more to the music they liked. At some point, drinking to get wasted stops being fun. Hangovers are the worst. You will lose most of the friends you have made up to this point. It's hard to stay in touch with everyone you were close with in high school, even with social media, and that will only become more common. Hold on to the good ones and do whatever it takes to stay close to the people who matter. Be kind to service workers. Don't tolerate awful service, but don't scream at people who had nothing to do with the problem. They often cannot change it. Be kind to partners. Do not tolerate abuse or ignore red flags. Leave when it becomes clear it will not work, and don't stay friends unless you truly want to. When relationships end, avoid being the ex your former partner's badmouth. Don't turn your hobby into a side hustle. It will become work and you may stop enjoying it. Not everything you enjoy or do well needs to become a business. For work-life balance, enjoy things for what they are, not for what they can do for your wallet. Don't smoke cigarettes. They will age you and harm your body. If you smoke, quit today. Story 127. Make sure you are stretching, moving, and protecting your gut biome. Brush and floss. Apply sunscreen and moisturize your skin. You will be surprised how fast your body starts reacting to what has been taken care of and what has not. Story 128. Buying too much stuff. I don't want half of it anymore. I felt I had to have it in my 20s and 30s. Stop buying so much. Story 129. Go to the gym, stretch, and stay hydrated. Do these consistently and make them fun. Not doing so will make you stiff and prone to injuries and body pain. Trust me. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.